Hi, hope to make a quick video about something I thought was interesting. So click, what if this world we live in is not real? So this is just a question or something that I've seen put forth philosophically sometimes. And it's oddly common among people. And I think it's because when people first start thinking about morality, they try and figure out, well, like, why does any of this matter in the first place? And they come to the conclusion, well, maybe it doesn't matter at all. And if it doesn't matter at all, right, I can just have any morality that I want. And one of the ways it wouldn't matter at all is, if we're trapped in the matrix, or if what we are in is not the real world and it's a fake world and we need to get out. And this is kind of maybe related to relativity in regards to morality, but it's not really correctly applied. And usually it's used as an excuse, as just saying, I just want my own personal pleasure and I want to build a system or society that benefits me. And so therefore I'll just kind of say that all moralities are debunked, or it doesn't really matter because the world that we live in might not be real or something like that. But anyways, to use this to get off the ground is kind of an impossible argument, because the only way that you can ever define it is from accepting that we live in a real world and then saying something is fake. And by doing that, you have to accept the fact that there is a real world and that we live in it. And you can't, well, first you'd have to define real and fake in meaningful ways as related to morality or something like that, because, we have fiction and nonfiction, and things that are fiction still affect the world very easily and very apparently. And so I don't know how you would meaningfully differentiate between real and fake in a good way to prove that point. So I guess as an example, you can think of a movie inside another movie. So you have movie one and movie two, where movie two is inside of movie one. And so just because movie one has a movie two in it doesn't mean that in movie one's universe, its characters should think that they are in a movie just because movie two exists in it, right? Where, if you think video games or something like that are fake, just because we have created video games, you shouldn't think that, well, like, what if our reality now is all fake, right? It's kind of just a weird, doesn't follow. And the next is, this is kind of weirdly connected to Pascal's wager of this having very little chance of happening, where Pascal's wager, very briefly, is just, if a Catholic is saying you should believe in God, because if the Catholic is right, you get to go to heaven for eternity. And, if you don't believe in God or get baptized, you go to hell for eternity. So there's infinite number of pleasure or pain at stake here, where your time on the real world, your pleasure and pain is finite. So, and the issue with this is just this, there's lots of critiques you can give for this, but the one that's related to here is just that the chance of this happening and the proof of this happening is just nothing, right? There's no point to ever even buy into this wager at all, even remotely. And the same with, like, thinking that we are in a matrix, right? There's no good reason to buy into ever thinking that we are in a matrix. And then so going past that point and connecting it to anything else is wrong. It's just, you shouldn't do it, right? I say I'm going to relate this to my absurdism video. And then lastly, I just want to say, like, this is an interesting question, but what about what? So if you hear someone say this, always try and connect it to what are they trying to prove and what are they trying to connect. And if they're just trying to bring up a fun thing to talk about, like, cool, you do you. But be careful, because people will say this to kind of just push their own rhetoric or just whatever kind of political thoughts that they want. That was all. If you ever want to talk to me on this kind of subject, message me wherever. And thanks for listening. Take care.